Thanks for joining me today. I wanted to take a minute to go over the pan head that I'm going to be using this year. For those who self-film, there's typically two things that you're always paying attention to, and one is weight, trying to cut down on as much weight as possible, carrying more stuff into the woods obviously, and the other thing is bulk. Obviously those two kind of run hand in hand. And last year I used a muddy camera arm, which is fairly big, and I also used a fairly big pan head as well. And earlier this year I was on YouTube, and I saw a YouTube channel called Jeremy Riggins Outdoors, which I would encourage you to check out. And he did a video on a pan head that's a fluid head that's considerably smaller than the one that I used. I got on there and ordered the pan head that he had reviewed, and that is what I'm going to go over today. It is the CH10 by Smallrig. You can see this is a tiny little pan head, and as I said, it is a fluid head as well, which I'll get into in a minute. The other thing that I did, again in the interest of cutting down on bulk and weight, was Jeremy Riggins Outdoors. He sells a camera arm that is super light, and I actually did a review on that, which you can see up here in the top left, and you can watch, click on that link and watch the video to that. I cut down, I think, on 4 pounds maybe, just on my camera arm alone. And then this guy here is definitely going to cut down some when it comes to my pan head as well. So I've cut down probably close to 5 pounds just in my camera arm and the pan head that I'm going to be using. And so I'm going to show you some features on this and how it works. There is one thing on here that is not my favorite, but overall this fluid head actually is pretty sweet, especially for how small it is. The first thing, if you'll notice, is it's got the bracket that goes onto the actual camera, and all that is kind of almost just like the scope mount. You just unscrew it, and that comes off, and you can attach it to your actual camera. Now it has obviously the screw. They put a little rubber thing on it. I don't know if that's to help keep it quiet, but it has the screw, which is adjustable, and it also has the little, if I can pull it out here, has the little knob there that you can use to twist it in there. It also has, which I'll show you real quick, it has kind of a cool little feature. If you see right there, it's got an Allen wrench, and basically that Allen wrench here will tighten or loosen the actual arm of the pan head. It also will, you could use it to adjust that as well if you wanted to. Not that I think I would even do that, but it is there as an option. And basically all it does, there's a little hole back in here. It slips in, and there's a little magnet that holds it there from coming out. So that's the first thing that I would say about that. Again, super compact and small. The other thing is, which my camera arm has this, so I'll probably rely on that more as I'm setting it up than even this, but this does have a level on top, so you can level it, make sure that your camera's not obviously on a big angle. The other thing on the bottom is some people use a 1/4 inch screw, some people have a 3/8 screw that is on their camera arm. This has an adjustable where you can just unscrew this right here. I'll actually do it, and you can go to the 3/8. Mine is a 1/4 inch, so I just have this little attachment that again comes with it, and you just put that right in, screw it in, and there you go. You have it for a 1/4 inch head, which is again what my camera arm is. On these sides right here, you'll see there's a knob here that you can twist, and there's a knob here that you can loosen. This one back here is so it can actually spin back and forth. This one here is so it can tilt up and down, and obviously if you tighten it, it won't tilt. But super compact. It's only like 8 inches at the most. My concern was this small pan head, will it hold my camera well, and quite frankly, will it keep it from, you know, falling forward if I'm tilting it down or that type of thing. And I'm going to show you in a second. It actually holds super well. So let's get this on the camera and get it on the actual camera arm. One of the things I kind of wish I had, honestly, is it has obviously the screw that attaches to the bottom of the camera, but I kind of wish I had that other little knob on there so you can kind of lock it in place. It does have these little pads on here that help it so it doesn't really spin, which is helpful, but it kind of makes it a little easier for me from my perspective if you have that knob, you know, where it kind of sets it right in its proper spot. But as far as putting it on overall, it's pretty easy. Just get it to where you want it. Tighten it down, flap it over, now you're ready to go. This will just sit on here, just screw it in. There you go. Let's get it on the actual arm. Mine's actually 3/8. I was thinking it was a quarter, but the screw for the pan head is actually 3/8. So I just took out that quarter size. Lift up the pan head a little bit so I don't. I just tighten this like that so it doesn't technically spin, and then just turn it on clockwise, and that actually helps it so it, you know, gets it tight on there. Then of course once you loosen that, you can spin it, and that way you're not actually loosening the actual pan head itself to the camera arm. Alright, there it is. Now, like I said, one of my concerns was being a very light arm, being a light pan head. What will happen if I tilt this down? Is it going to go down? And actually, the pan head that I had, which is bigger than this, more bulky, it tended to, you had to really be careful because it tended to just kind of lean forward if you weren't touching it and holding it. I would be turning around looking somewhere else, you know, looking for deer or whatever, and I'd turn back around and my camera head's sitting like that. So I was always having to pay attention to that. This guy here, I can sit there and go like that, and I don't have any issues with it. And you can technically tighten it too, but it seems to me like when no matter how you loosen it, it doesn't really become much looser. It's just that final little bit of tightening is what keeps it from either moving at all or or being able to go up and down. So there's not really an adjustment where from my perspective and what I've seen, there's not an adjustment where you can adjust it so it's harder to do or lighter. It's either you can't do it because this is too tight, or that's loose and then you can do it. I like the amount that it fluctuates, the difficulty or ease of going up and down. It's not hard, and yet it's solid. And again, when you go like that, it'll sit there and stay just like that, and you don't have any issues with it falling down. So it is the CH10 by Smallrig. I'll have a link to their website down below, and you can get on there and look it up. I think it was $50 for this fluid head, and I really like it. And again, it's super small. I mean, when this whole thing's folded up, it's just in my pan. It's so small in my backpack. And again, it's like 5 pounds lighter than what I did have. So it's super nice. One of the negatives, I should say, is I wish, maybe the only negative, I wish the actual arm of the fluid head to control it was actually a little straighter. And the reason I say that is because if if an animal's out there farther, you're not having it tilted that much. And if you need to move it, you're going to hit this. I wish they kind of had a straight one. It would give you a little more room to maneuver it without having to kind of go up over and then back down. So to me, that's probably the only negative. I just wish they have it, comes out and then bends. I wish it was a little straighter. But the actual handle on here, that is really nice. And the other thing is I use, remote control, or not remote control, but a control here that hooks up to the camera. And I have enough room, thankfully, but I have enough room where it can sit right on this little bar here, down here near the end, and I can hold this, adjust it, and do everything that I need, record, stop, zoom in, zoom out. And there's enough room there for me. So I like that. Maybe if it wasn't bent, maybe I'd have a little bit harder time. So maybe it's a little bit of a give and take, but It seems to me like they could have made it a little bit straighter, not bend it quite so much. But other than that, I love it. I think it's great. It's small, and it checks all the boxes for self-filming from my perspective and what I'm looking for. So yeah, check it out, the CH10 by Smallrig. Again, there's a link below, and if you self-film, this is a great thing to have for your self-filming. Thanks for watching. If you like the videos that I post, consider subscribing. It would be much appreciated, and hope to have a whole bunch more videos coming this year with a lot of reviews. Again, I would check out Jeremy Riggins Outdoors. He does a great review on this, and also on the camera arm as well. It's like between the fluid head or the pan head and the camera arm, maybe 2 pounds, whereas before I was like 6 or 7 pounds from my muddy camera arm and the pan head that I used to use. So check him out. He's got some great stuff as well, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.